All right, we're diving straight into a pretty mind-blowing idea today. It's one that's been hiding in the first few pages of the Bible this whole time, and it's about God, the universe, and, believe it or not, it's about you. Let's get into it. Seriously, though, have you ever felt like you're two completely different people in the same body? You know, there's the part of you that's got to study and crush that test, but then there's the other part that just wants to chill with your friends. Well, that feeling, it's not random. It's actually a huge clue about how the entire universe is put together. So to really get this, we have to start by looking at the world around us. I mean, everything you see, everything you can physically touch, shares one fundamental quality. It can always be broken down into smaller pieces. Just take your phone, for example. We call it one thing, but is it really? No way. It's made of a bunch of parts, right? You've got the screen, the battery, the metal casing, all those little computer chips, dozens of individual things all working together. And we can go deeper. Every single one of those parts is made of trillions and trillions of molecules, all arranged in just the right way. And those molecules, well, they're just collections of atoms. You know, oxygen, silicon, carbon. We're still not at a truly single one thing. And of course, those atoms are made of protons, neutrons, and electrons, which themselves are made of quarks. You see the pattern here? Scientists have literally never found a single, truly indivisible thing in our physical universe. Everything is composite. Everything is made of parts. Except for one thing, and this is one of the deepest, most powerful ideas in Jewish thought. When the Bible says God is one, it doesn't just mean there's only one of God. It means God is fundamentally, purely, indivisibly one. The only thing in all of existence that isn't made of parts. So, this creates a huge challenge. Think about it. If God is pure oneness, but our world is a world of many-ness, of parts and pieces and opposites, how does a being of pure unity create and then explain a world of duality? I mean, our entire reality is a balancing act. Your school life is this constant balance between studying and having a social life. A planet stays in orbit because of this perfect dance between gravity pulling it in and its own momentum trying to fling it out. Even something as simple as walking is just a constant process of falling forward and then catching yourself. Our world literally runs on these competing forces. So that's the puzzle God has when giving us the creation story. How do you describe a singular, unified act of creation to beings like us who can only understand the world through pairs and opposites and competing forces? Well, the answer is absolutely brilliant, and it's been hidden in plain sight this whole time, right at the very beginning of Genesis. The Bible solves this problem by giving us not one, but two different views of the exact same event. Now, you might have heard people say that Genesis has two different creation stories, one in chapter 1 and another in chapter 2. And some people see this as a big contradiction or maybe proof that different people wrote it. But what if it's not a mistake at all? What if it's completely intentional? What if it's actually the only way the story could be told?
Okay, let's use an analogy here to make this super clear. Imagine you had to describe a 3D cylinder to someone who could only see in 2D. If they look at it from the top, what do they see? A flat circle. If they look at it from the side, what do they see? A flat rectangle. Now, neither of those views is wrong, but neither one is the whole truth either. To that 2D person, they look like two completely different contradictory shapes.
To even begin to understand what a cylinder is, that 2D person needs both views. And this is exactly what the Bible is doing. The two creation stories are like the circle and the rectangle. They are two different 2D perspectives on a single, much more complex 3D reality that we can't fully grasp. You need both of them to even start to see the real picture. And this pattern of two views, one truth, doesn't just stop with the creation story. It shows up again and again, even in the very names the Bible uses for God. So the Bible uses different names for God, and they basically show us these two different perspectives. One name, Elohim, shows God as this powerful, cosmic creator, the architect of the universe. But the other name shows God's more intimate, personal, relational side. They're not two different gods. They are two essential views of the same single, unified reality, just like the circle and the rectangle. Okay, this is all fascinating, cosmic level stuff, but what does any of it have to do with you trying to pass your history final or figure out your weekend plans? Well, everything. Because this divine design, this whole pattern, is mirrored inside of you. Remember that feeling we started with? of being pulled in two directions? Are you the focused student or the competitive athlete? The shy introvert or the outgoing extrovert? Are you the ambitious side of yourself or the compassionate side? We usually see these as conflicts, right? Like we have to pick one or the other. But here it is. Here's the ultimate takeaway from all of this. That inner tension, that feeling of being pulled apart by different parts of yourself, it isn't a bug. It's not a flaw in your design. It is the design. You are meant to hold these competing forces inside you, just like the universe itself does. Those two sides of you don't just happen to coexist, they actually need each other.
So that ambitious part of you, it needs your compassionate part to give it meaning and direction. Your creative side needs your disciplined side to actually bring your ideas to life. This is the real work. The ability to look at those seemingly opposite parts of yourself not as a conflict you need to solve, but as two essential views of the whole you, and then to hold them together and create something new and unified from them, that is the most creative and frankly the most godlike thing you can possibly do.